Had to talk about this, man. In my opinion, guys, a very misguided topic that people are really running with in the media. Verizon's Vestberg gets put on the defense about convergence. What is convergence, you say? Think bundling, selling in tandem, mobile services, and home broadband. Just keep that in your mind. All right. Investors on Verizon's second quarter 2024 earnings call this week challenged company executives whether it had a big enough fiber footprint to compete in the future. The investors were disappointed that FiOS, Verizon's fiber offering, saw 28,000 net adds during the quarter, down significantly from the 51,000 in the same quarter a year ago. Okay, so what may have caused this? What may have caused FiOS ads to be down? Who knows? Maybe it's some competitor, being more aggressive with promotions. Maybe it's the economics. Maybe it's the weakness in the economy currently. Maybe it's part of that. Maybe just the switcher pool is more limited this year. I mean, there's a lot of factors that could be there. Who knows? But investors obviously weren't happy to see it go from 51,000 to 28,000. Now, if it was like 45 or 40,000, I don't think anybody would have batted an eye. But there must be something magical about, coming up below 30. So a little bit of a miss there, I suppose. The CFO, Tony Skiatis, seemed to indicate that the end of the ACP was part of the problem. His quote, "We saw some pressure in FiOS in terms of gross ad opportunity." So there's another factor. People disconnecting due to the ACP funding drought. Hans, the CEO, was specifically asked about the health of the broadband market. He said, "We see it healthy, of course. FiOS is by far the best fiber product in the market." Does that answer our question? Nope. Doesn't really answer our question. If you're selling 28,000 lines, 28,000, FiOS ads, and it was 51,000 last year at this time, well, what's different today? He says it's healthy, so it doesn't make any sense. Vestberg said, we see some uptick on the fixed mobile convergence. We have all these economics on wireless and on broadband, and we will see if a customer wants to have a converged product, we will do that. I remember, and I don't know, I'm trying to think how many quarters this goes back. It might be about 3 quarters ago, maybe 2 quarters ago. There's a question about convergence, and I think it was Tony Skiatis. It probably wasn't actually at an earnings call. I think it was an investor conference, like a Goldman Sachs or a JP Morgan, and Tony Skiatis, the CFO, was there, and he was doing like this conference call, and he said that their convergence rate was only like 10%. I don't think it's that much higher today. I don't think it changed all that much. Maybe it's up a little bit, maybe 11 or 12%. But if it was 15% or something like that, going from 10% to 15% is a sizable jump. That's an improvement of 50%. So if that was the case, I think they would have been more excited to report that and mention it, and that just simply wasn't the case. Fast forward to AT&T's earnings 2 days after Verizon's, and the story was very different. Their convergence was like incredibly high. It was like 39 or 40%, or maybe higher is the projection. I don't know. That might be where this pressure is coming from. This whole concept of convergence might be because they're hearing about it from companies like T-Mobile and AT&T. And, Verizon has a convergence plan. They have a convergence product. They sell FiOS. Now, obviously, it's mostly on the east side of the U.S. and, with respect to the eastern part also, it's like really just the major metros in like New York and stuff like that and PA. The convergence for them, I think, is going to reside in what they do with 5G home internet. You guys got to remember, they have heavily invested into the One Fiber program in which they are running their native fiber to their cell sites, and then they're selling people 5G home internet. That's part of convergence. For them to kind of make a thing or a big stick about, fiber through FiOS seems a little bit kind of misleading. You're going to make people think that they're not selling broadband, which is not the case. Verizon is a major share taker in 5G home internet. I mean, they have systematically rendered cable a non-factor in market share. Well, or I should say in the share taking. T-Mobile's adding 400,000 or 500,000 every quarter. Verizon's adding like 300,000-400,000 every quarter. That's not nothing. That's legitimate. And, I think that's how more people need to kind of understand and wrap their mind around this. So like if Verizon, if they sell someone fixed wireless access or FiOS, they don't care. They don't care which one you take. It's a high quality customer that has a profitable account that Verizon's thrilled to have on the network. Whether it's FiOS or it's 5G home internet, makes no difference to them. Because the thing for Verizon is they're building a single network. They're running fiber circuits, high capacity fiber circuits to these cells, and they're monetizing. And they don't care if they send you a 5G home internet gateway or if they, send a technician, to run a drop and, get you connected to FiOS. They don't care. In fact, it's easier for them to sell you 5G home internet. You order it, next day shipping, you get this gateway, you plug it in by your window, and boom, it's done and over with. You don't need a truck roll. You don't need installations. It's wonderful. That ease of installation, that conversion is super easy, painless, and people are liking it. And their net promoter scores on the service is very high. Okay, so Verizon has, let's call it about 4 million fixed wireless access subscribers. They were guiding 4 to 5 million by the end of 25. We're in the middle of 24. They have surpassed anybody's expectations for the 5G home internet. T-Mobile is knocking it out of the park. Same situation. They're killing it with fixed wireless access. They're probably going to start guiding up soon too, and later this year. They're going to hit the 7 million. Who knows? Maybe in the 6 months they hit 8 million. You never know. So Verizon, for what it's worth, almost 4 million fixed wireless access, 11.5 total broadband subs, which means what? You got like 7 or 8 million FiOS customers, right? I don't see how there's a concern about Verizon's ability to offer a converged service. I just think it's just different, right? They're still growing FiOS, albeit a little bit slower. They're obviously growing the 5G home internet reach. They're not even done building the network. The C-band hasn't even scaled across all of its markets yet. They still have suburban and rural that they've got to densify, upgrade, modernize, expand. They're going to convert. And actually, that's how I think the convergence needs to be viewed for Verizon. Their convergence isn't just through FiOS. It's through MCI. It's through One Fiber. It's through everything. I don't know, man. I just don't see the concern. I don't know why Hans got defensive. I don't know if that's really a necessary evil, but yeah, I think the 5G home internet's a major convergence factor for Verizon. SMT Nation, it is time for me to introduce to you Aura. Give you guys an incredible suite of cybersecurity protections to keep everything that you do online safe, keeping you safe from identity theft, scams, online threats, including protections for your entire family. They offer pretty much a worry-free trial period. Obviously, the pricing is very competitive, starting at $12 per month. They've got one simple and easy app for you to use. They've got incredible features, $1 million in coverage, 24/7 expert fraud support, transparent pricing, the money-back guarantee at 60 days with a free trial, no strings attached. So with the odds of falling victim to an online crime being 1 in 4, this would change everything. Really should check them out. The financial fraud protection is worth its weight in gold. Help keep your kids protected within boundaries that you set forth for them. Proven to be the fastest, most reliable fraud alert system. And it's as simple as choosing your plan, simply setting up how you're enrolled, and then getting notified for all the things that it's monitoring. Start your free trial now. Use our link. It's down in the description, and it's also here on the screen, aura.com/Sneed. You guys can click the URL. It's hyperlinked down in the description. And again, it's up here on the screen, aura.com/Sneed. Protect yourself from all the digital threats that's out there in the world.